welcome to number 188 of Geeking Out. This is the last episode of our Marvelous March. Come on, Jim. Marvelous March wasn't that bad.
It's not bad.
What are you crying for then?
They're making a sequel to Anchorman.
I know, it hurts my brain too. It does. It does.
Who keeps giving Will Ferrel work?
There's some people out there. I know lots of people who like him. I'm not really included in that group. But anyways, you know, let's review some comics, because then at least you
That'll
can...
cheer me up.
Yeah,
Let's get to it.
Yes, because, you know, this is the last week of you suffering through some Marvel for at least a little bit.
Yes, and as soon as this episode is over, this is going away.
Yeah, so there you go. That'll make you happy.
I kind of got my Alan Moore look here.
Yes, well, that's because it's cold. It is cold here all of a sudden.
Yeah.
We had unseasonable warm.
Where did spring go?
Yeah, spring was here, then it went away, and now it's coming back. Hopefully after this weekend. Anyway.
We will see. We will see.
All right, so first up, we've got Avengers 24.1. This is written by Brian Michael Bendis with art by Brandon Peterson. So basically, a year ago, the Scarlet Witch lost control of her mind, and she used the She-Hulk to tear the Vision, her husband, in half.
Wow, that's a really good way of divorce.
It was pretty epic, let me tell you. Anyway, so now he's been repaired and woken to a brand new world, one in which much has changed. So the first thing that Vision does
and
is...
he got nothing in divorce.
No, he wasn't around to. So the first thing he does is confront She-Hulk about what happened, and then Magneto, who he really blames for everything, all the while searching for Wanda and trying to readjust to life as an Avenger. Okay, so as the .1 part of the title tells you, this is a good jumping on point. If you haven't been reading the Avengers to this point, then you can jump on here and you're going to be getting into a new storyline that you really don't need to know much about what's been going on in the past. They give you a quick summary. We're going to be talking about Vision and Wanda and whether Wanda's going to rejoin the Avengers and where she might sit in the whole Avengers versus X-Men debate. There's really great art by Peterson here. I was actually really impressed. I'm not totally familiar with his art, but I liked this. So the only thing that I didn't really like at times was Wanda's design, but, you know, I can live with that.
Alright, next up is Ghost Rider number 9, which is the final issue of this current series of Ghost Rider. And in this one, Ghost Rider declares war on hell to save the souls she's damned. But Johnny Blaze is coming after her to take back on the curse of being the Ghost Rider.
Finally!
So yeah, this is a big
right.
F-U to the fans that have liked this new female Ghost Rider, Alejandro, or Alejandra.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is basically ends with her being horribly burned and scarred to almost death.
See, I don't think she deserved that.
Retaining some of her powers, but Johnny Blaze gets the mantle of the Ghost Rider again. So
are any of us surprised?
Yeah, really. So yeah, this is basically just like, hey, we know you didn't like the female Ghost Rider, so F her, and here's Johnny Blaze.
Yeah.
Like us again. Buy Ghost Rider Volume 10, number 1 in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Pretty much. So yeah, this is just a big F you to the people who like the female Ghost Rider, and
there was parts that I liked.
I mean, there was good stuff, there was bad stuff, but yeah, when you basically use a character as a MacGuffin for almost...
It's kind of harsh.
Yeah, it's really harsh. And I mean, it's like, oops, she fell in the lava and is horribly scarred, and, well, yeah. So, pretty much a big F you to
You know what would be cool is if she came back like a Darth Vader-ish kind of character and now is like
she
totally evil and wants to go after Johnny and try and get like the
That's how the book kind of ends.
Really? See, I could write this stuff. No.
So there you go. But
yeah.
For me, I didn't like this at all. It was basically not a fun way of ending the series.
Next up, we've got XMen Legacy, number 264. This is by Christos Cage and Rafa Sandoval. So, still reeling from their fight with Exodus, the X-Men in Westchester must deal with a ticking time bomb. The Mimic has brought Weapon Omega to Beast for help. Seems like after an encounter with Norman Osborn, Michael's powers and his need to absorb mutant energy are out of control.
Hooray!
Yes, making him a ticking time bomb. And they devise a way to save Michael, but then the situation gets 3 times worse. Okay, so I liked this for the most part. The story's okay, although the cliffhanger ending is kind of lame. Like, I think I actually said, oh, lame. My roommate was like, what was that? I was like, I was reading XMen Legacy. Anyway, the other thing is I really didn't like the art in this. I think it's the hair. The hair is the big issue. You know how, like, some artists, like, can't do hands, or they can't do feet, or can't do whatever?
Rob Liefeld.
Yeah, it seems like Rafa can't do hair without it making it look like some sort of, like, funky helmet.
Oh, okay.
You know what I don't know. I don't know how else to describe it. But I think the hair was the only thing that really got to me, and then otherwise it might have been okay. So overall, it was an okay story, if not kind of ridiculous. I do like that Rogue is heavily featured because I dig her. But other than that, it was just ho-hum okay.
All right, well, speaking of digging, here's Daredevil number 10. And in this one, coffins from Suncourt Cemetery have been stolen, and Daredevil must now go deep into the pits to face off against the Mole Man and bring peace back to the grieving families whose graves were stolen, including Daredevil's father.
Mole Man is cool.
Yeah, but he's kind of a necrophiliac in this.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, he's kind of got a dead body, and he's kind of eulogizing it and holding it ransom, and it's really kind of creepy. Very creepy.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't know what Mark Waid was thinking when he wrote this one, but this is a disturbing book.
Nice.
I mean, you go down into there, Daredevil goes after him, and sees he's basically holding the hand of a dead woman.
Weird.
It's like, okay. So
interesting. I knew it from the cover that book was going to be kind of cool. When we were picking books, I was like, that one looks neat. So good job on the cover then.
Yeah, the art's okay. It's nothing like as good as the cover, but the art's okay. It's just the story by Wade that gets really creepy at points. And
so if you want creepy, then
if you like dead bodies and oh God, people lusting after them, then this is the book for you. God.
All right. So this is probably the book that you've been waiting for, hoping that one of us will review this week. Avengers vs. X-Men number 0. This is written by Brian Michael Bendis with Jason
Number 0
Aaron.
of 15,000.
It's going to be a big event, people. Art by Frank Cho.
Oh, that's good.
Very good.
Cho is always good.
Yes. So, alright, so in the first blast of what's going on, the Scarlet Witch returns to stop MODOK's attack on a scientist who tried to leave AIM. With the aid of Spider-Woman and Ms. Marvel, MODOK's plan is halted, and Carol drags Wanda back to say hi to everybody at Avengers Mansion, which not everyone's happy to see her. You know.
No doubt. No doubt.
Meanwhile, Hope is frustrated that Scott and the others are keeping her out of the loop regarding the Phoenix and decides to blow off some steam with some old-fashioned crime fighting. So, it was a decent beginning. I preferred the Scarlet Witch story by Bendis a lot more than the Hope story, which, gang, half of that Hope story was spoiled in about 15 billion Marvel comics leading up to this one. It's that little preview that they put in the back of probably almost every book we read this month. So then there's like a little bit extra tacked on to what you haven't read already. Chow's art is amazing throughout, though.
Yeah.
Like, totally...
Anytime Cho does something, it's going to look amazing.
Yeah. The only thing that I would say is that I I don't know. I just don't like how Wanda's done, again, in this book. I don't know. But MODOK was awesome. MODOK is really cool in here. The part, there's a part where they're fighting him, and it's almost like he's like leaping out of the page. Like, it's just so cool. It's this big splash. It's awesome. I really enjoyed it. So that part, thumbs up to Frank for. Who knows how this whole thing is going to go. Since
we'll keep you appraised. Though.
Yeah, I'm going to keep reading this. I'll let you know what's going on in the whole Avengers versus X-Men thing, because I don't mind reading Marvel.
Technically, she'll keep you appraised.
Yes, I'll do.
I've got a lot to catch up on myself.
Yes. And just a reminder that comic book stores are going to be holding the Avengers vs. X-Men release parties this Tuesday from 8 till whenever they decide to close. And there'll be like special covers and blank variants. And you can buy the the number 1 before it releases on Wednesday. You can get it Tuesday night. Then there's like buttons and lithos and all those kind of things. Each store has to pick whether they support the Avengers or the X-Men, so I'm sure everybody will have fun with that.
And we will destroy our enemies.
So make sure you check out your local comic book store and go to their party and, see what it's all about.
Or if you're near here, come and see us.
Come see us. We're doing ours from 8 to 9, and it should be a lot of fun.
But we're not saying anything else. You have to come and see.
Yeah, you have to come see
support.
if we support Avengers or X-Men. You got to come see that.
All right. So last and not least, certainly for me, is Avenging Spider-Man number 5. And in this one, an old piece of comic art drawn by Steve Rogers is found and put on auction, and Spider-Man tries to rekindle the creative spark in Captain America by brainstorming a comic with him. Well, that, and they try to take down the Serpent Society.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
It sounds like a filler issue.
Pretty much, yeah. It's
okay.
basically, they find an old piece of art by Captain America, which he did in his old art school days when he was the sickly little Steve Rogers.
Mm-hmm. Before he was the super soldier.
Yeah. And it's basically a character who's always shouting, "Liberty Bonds!" Which is hilarious in its own way, because they make a joke out of it throughout the entire book with characters ending every sentence with "Liberty Bonds."
Nice.
So that was pretty funny. I thought that was neat. And I like the fact that Spider-Man just follows Cap around like a lost little puppy, trying to tell him, "Hey, I'm a nerd, you're a nerd, let's be friends."
Yes, exactly.
So it's an interesting dynamic of Spider-Man and Captain America pretty much trying to find a common ground, which is interesting. And eventually, near the end, Cap goes to Spider-Man for some ideas on drawing a new comic hero.
Oh, well, then
There you go. And the whole thing is dedicated to Joe Simon, which is really nice.
Oh, that's nice, yeah.
The art's really nice in here by you, and I quite enjoyed this one. It was a lot of fun just to see those two characters interact with each other, and to do something creative like this. It's different and fun, so I had a bit of fun with this. This was not a bad read. So if you're a Spider-Man or Captain America fan, check this one out. It's pretty funny and all around pretty good.
Okay, so last up, there's a little preview out in the comic book stores this week for the Ultimate Spider-Man TV show that's going to be coming to Disney XD.
Yep.
So it looks like...
Which we don't really get in Canada.
We don't get in Canada, but, it doesn't mean that we're not going to let you know about it. Which kind of ticks me off because
I want to see the new Tron series.
Yeah. Yes. So, anyway, it looks like they've just taken, screenshots from what might be the beginning episodes here. What I liked about it is that it wasn't going for a rehash of an origin.
Always a good thing.
Right? It looks like they just sort of breeze over that flashback style, and then we're right into, Peter being Spider-Man, and he's even drafted by S.H.I.E.L.D., really quickly. So we're getting right into the big action, which I guess I'm not surprised by, because if you want to include S.H.I.E.L.D. so you can cash in on the whole Avengers thing that's coming out.
Considering they'll never be able to do that with Spider-Man anyway.
Well, he's been an Avenger before. He's just
but
not
they're never going to be in the movie Avenger. You think Sony's going to let go of that license? Come on.
Probably not. So, this looked okay. I don't know. If this is the animation, I'm only half sold on it, but...
Well, I will say one thing. It looks better than the last Spider-Man cartoon.
Yes. But see, I'm a fan of the really, really old one. Even though, you look back at it now, and you're like, they're so cheesy. I just love them. They have just, I don't know.
And I'm a fan of the 90s cartoon myself, which was pretty well done, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
If you're a Spider-Man fan and you want to give your kids something to read, this is it's free.
Yeah,
you can't complain there, so.
Exactly. And so for that, make sure that you pick it up. I enjoyed it. It was
we might not be able to get the cartoon series here in Canada. Well, maybe we will, but...
Maybe we will.
But, check it out if you want to see at least a little preview of what's in store for you.
Absolutely, because we'll all be able to buy it on DVD.
Oh, yeah.
That for sure will happen.
So we will see you next week for a big catch-up week.
Where you can see Jim's chin again.
Yeah. You will be able to see my chin again, and my hair will be tied back.
There you go.
So we will see you next week.